It is December 28th, 2025. Do me a favor. Open your portfolio app. Right now. Look at the return percentage. If you feel a knot twisting in your stomach right now, it's not because you lost money. No, it's actually much worse than that. It's because of the money you didn't make. This year, 2025, was the year of the fake out. We saw 5 distinct moments where the market screamed, sell. And if you listened, you got absolutely crushed. Today, we are doing an autopsy on your decision-making. We're going to revisit the panic of February, the tech fear of July, and that brutal crypto crash in October. I'm going to show you exactly how your biology betrayed your bank account. Welcome back to the Fiscal Axiom. If you're new here, look, we don't just read the news. We dissect the psychology behind the wealth. Disclaimer. This presentation utilizes hypothetical scenarios to illustrate behavioral finance concepts. The specific events depicted are fictionalized simulations intended for educational purposes. You know, the late investing legend Charlie Munger had this mental model called inversion. He used to say, "Tell me where I'm going to die, so I'll never go there." Most people try to be brilliant, but here's the secret. In 2025, you didn't need to be brilliant. You just needed to not be stupid when everyone else was panicking. And honestly, that is physiologically impossible for 90% of you. Why? It's called the pain of regret. Psychologists Kahneman and Tversky proved that the pain of losing $1,000 hurts twice as much as the joy of gaining $1,000. And this year, that evolutionary flaw cost you a fortune. Let's rewind to the beginning of the year. Opportunity number 1. January 2025. The narrative was perfect, right? The Fed is going to cut rates, money becomes free again, and stocks go to the moon. Simple. But what actually happened? Inflation data came in sticky. The Fed paused. They didn't cut, and the market threw a massive tantrum. Wall Street started screaming, recession is back. And retail investors, that means you, sold everything.
This was a classic case of recency bias. You were so traumatized by the high rates of 2023 and 2024 that the moment the pivot got delayed, your brain signaled danger. But here is the inversion. What was the reality? Corporate earnings were up. GDP was stable. The only thing that changed was the timeline. The smart money saw a discount. If you had bought that dip in February while the news was telling you to cash out, you'd be up 18% on that trade alone. You hesitated because you wanted certainty. But in this game, certainty is the most expensive commodity in the world. Fast forward to summer 2025, opportunity number 2. The markets were hot, but then a new narrative took hold. The AI bubble is bursting. You saw the reports, big tech spending trillions on infrastructure, but the revenue wasn't matching up yet. It was the CapEx fear. Nvidia took a hit. The NASDAQ wobbled. Your brain triggered pattern recognition. You remembered the dot-com crash of 2000. You thought, this is it. This is Cisco 2.0. I'm getting out. Here's the thing. That linear thinking destroyed your wealth. Humans think linearly, 1, 2, 3, 4. But technology, it grows exponentially. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. While you were analyzing the current quarter's profits, the market was pricing in the next decade of productivity. The inversion thinker asked, is AI going away? No. Are companies going to stop buying chips? No. Because if they stop, they die. That dip in July was the last time you could have bought the Magnificent 7 at a reasonable valuation. But you hesitated. You waited for the dust to settle. Spoiler alert, the dust never settles on a moving train. It just leaves you behind. Then came October, opportunity number 3. October became Rectober. A rumor started circulating, backed by a few leaks, that major global regulators were coordinating a clampdown on DeFi wallets.
Bitcoin tanked 15% in 48 hours. Altcoins bled out 40%. And I know you felt it. That fear. This triggered the authority bias. Because a suit in Washington whispered a threat, you assumed the asset class was dead. You forgot the golden rule of crypto. It thrives on resistance.
While you were panic selling your bags at the absolute bottom, BlackRock and Fidelity were executing over-the-counter buy orders. They weren't reading the headlines. They were reading the on-chain data. The network hash rate didn't drop. The adoption curve didn't break. Only your resolve broke. The inversion thinker asked, can they actually ban code? The answer was no. The rebound was violent, and you were left holding stablecoins while the market ripped to new highs. Then, last month, November, opportunity number 4. The narrative shifted to the consumer. The American consumer is tapped out. Delinquencies are rising. The media painted a picture of a 2008-style collapse. Retail stocks took a hit. Amazon and Tesla dipped. This is the availability heuristic. You saw one news story about credit card debt, and because it was scary, you overestimated the probability of a systemic collapse. But you missed the data hidden in the footnotes. Real wage growth in Q3 2025 was positive for the first time in years. People were spending because they were making more, not just because they were borrowing. You bet against the American consumer right before the holiday season. Bad bet. The Black Friday numbers came out 2 weeks later, record-breaking. The stocks you sold, they rallied 12% in December. Which brings us to right now, the present moment. Look at the market this week. Low volume, drifting prices. You want to know why? Tax loss harvesting. People are selling their losers to offset their gains for the IRS. You are likely sitting in cash right now, waiting for clarity in 2026. You are telling yourself, I'll get back in after New Year's. That is the final mistake of the year. Historically, small cap stocks and beaten down sectors front run the new year. By the time you finish your champagne on January 1st, the smart money has already positioned themselves for the Q1 rally. You are hesitating right now, and just like in February, July, and October, it's going to cost you. So what is the total cost of your hesitation in 2025? If you had invested $10,000 into the panic of February, rolled it into the fear of July, and doubled down during the crash of October, that $10,000 would likely be $35,000 today. Instead, you have your original $10,000 minus inflation and a heavy dose of regret. Here is the lesson for 2026. The market does not reward you for being comfortable. It rewards you for doing the hard thing when your amygdala is screaming, run. Next year, there will be a war scare. There will be an election scare. There will be a new virus scare. I promise you, the headlines are already written. The only variable is you. Are you going to be the victim of your own psychology again? Or are you going to use inversion thinking to profit from the panic? If you want to know exactly how I'm positioning for the Q1 2026 rally, specifically the 3 sectors I'm buying while everyone else is hungover, I broke it down in my newsletter. Link in the description. Don't let 2026 be another year of almost. I'll see you on the other side.